Hey, Isaac, thank you so much for meeting with me today. Just so that way everyone here watching knows, this is Isaac Osterfeld, the latest and first ever Hearthstone national champion for Ashland University Esports. Isaac, welcome, and first and foremost, congratulations. You didn't just win one national championship, but you won two in the
Yeah.
span of a month. That's a pretty big deal. That's fantastic. What are your initial thoughts? What was your takeaway after you won? How did it feel?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing me on. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it feels really good. I mean, I came into this season with the idea that I've been really prepared this season. Um,
Mhm.
and my goal was to win at least one of them. And, it turned out that I was a little more prepared than I thought. So I was able to pull away with both championships. And um, yeah, I was really excited with the season. It went really well. I mean, throughout the season in both leagues, I mean, I dropped only one game in both leagues. And other than that, I mean, I won all the other matches. I mean, in total, I played 10 matches in our ECAC league. And then
Mhm.
in our play versus 14.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
oh yeah, 13 in the other 13 because one of them was a bye, but
Mhm.
13 in the other league, and I only lost one of those as well. And I know it stinks that I lost the game in both those, but as you mentioned, I play Hearthstone, which it's a card game, a virtual card
Mhm.
game, and there is some luck that is involved in the game. And as you get better at the game, you just learn to limit your odds. And yeah, I mean, I was able to do that really well this season, and thankfully was able to pull away with two trophies for the Eagles. So yeah.
Yeah, like you said, you play Hearthstone. It's a competitive card game, but it's not like a solitaire necessarily, or even a
Yeah,
poker or anything. What you're playing is kind of a card battling game. Maybe for those unacquainted, it's most akin to something like a Magic the Gathering online.
exactly.
You're using cards. You build out your own deck, right? And there's thousands of cards to choose from. You're coming in with 30 total, some of them being duplicates of other cards from that same deck. You get multiple of the same. And then you're using those to battle against your opponent and bring their health down to zero before yours, right?
Yep, exactly. And I mean, those rules are exactly what it is. The only thing is like some cards will change some of those rules and things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean this season, throughout the season, you might think, oh, there's just one or two good decks. I mean, when you play in the competitive scene, each week you have to bring four decks, and then one gets banned by your opponent. So each week I would have to kind of decide what I'd have to predict what my opponent was going to bring and what they were going to ban from me. So every week I was swapping out my decks in and out. And so I didn't just have to learn a few and get really good at a few. I had to um, do this for a lot of different like decks and learn a lot as I was playing. So yeah.
Yeah, makes total sense. A big part of that, like you mentioned, a lot of times in sports, people mention, predicting another person's move, the tactics of it. It's called like playing 4D chess with your opponent. And in a big way, you had to do that. You were not just predicting what your opponent would be doing in that moment with their next turn, but you're predicting what decks are they likely to bring this week. What should I bring? I mean, you're having a lot of planning stages going up to this and trying to strategically position yourself to win before the match has even started. You have no idea what they'll bring. So you're always having to kind of play the game even before you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've been doing this for a few years now. I've been on the esports team here for, I think it's like my fifth year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since I've been doing my masters now, and I think I finally mastered the art of like looking at somebody's like history and kind of predicting like what they were gonna bring to the match, and that is a really big strength because I was pretty accurate throughout the whole season of what I could assume my opponent was gonna do. Um, and you could kind of tell like what the players' play styles were going to be from decks that they were going to bring. I think one of
Mm-hmm.
my big advantages was that I changed around so much throughout the season that there wasn't a lot some of these people could do to prepare against me.
So when you were going into these matches, you mentioned how you were looking at what they had played, and your advantage was that you always changed it. What was your mindset, and how did you prepare yourself for each match?
Well, I just went into the games with a lot of confidence. Throughout the season, I played a lot. So in Hearthstone, you can play up through the ranked ladder, and it goes like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then
Hmm.
there's the highest rank in the game, which is legend, where it gives you a rank nationally. I I played a lot, and I hit in the top 100 legend a few times. So I was ranked top 100 nationally several times. And so, I mean, I kind of felt like I had a high understanding of the game, and I had a big confidence boost when I would go into games because my legend rank was higher than my opponents. Now I never took that for like I never overdid that because I mean the people who I dropped games to were lower than me. So
Hmm.
like I said, it doesn't really matter. But I kind of went in with knowing like all my decks very well, understanding uh, what to do in the games and playing so many games that I really was prepared and knew what to do in certain situations. Um, for example, like one of my decks I really liked to bring this year was Quest Warrior. And its whole point is you play this quest and your goal is to unlock this quest and it gives you this big reward at the end. There was a few decks that I'd face where I would get rid of the quest and throw it back into my deck at the start of the game because I knew there was no other way for me to win. An average player would not do that because they would think that that is the only way they can win the game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I figured it out throughout the season. So
So you're very dynamic and like flexible with what your win condition is. You're really looking for whatever your tactical route to success has been, right?
yeah, yeah, and throughout the games, like I would have the opponents like we have to share each other's deck list before the game start, and I would have their deck list on my other screen, and I would be thinking about, hey, if I do this turn, that what would their response be, and I'd try to be predicting
Hmm.
the responses and like the best case scenarios that they could have. And doing that really made it like I would feel like games were shut out 6 turns before the game was over because I knew there was nothing they could do. Like, so it did have a lot of predicting and things like that going into it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Just the mental fortitude it takes to really learn all of that. It's fantastic. I've played plenty of Hearthstone. We were actually on a team together back when I was
Yeah.
an undergrad, and I remember even then, a lot of times I would be playing and I kind of would just hand it off. I'm like, all right, Isaac's got it. I think he's doing the math a lot better than I am. He knows the statistics of this. And we won quite a few. And I think personally being able to see that progression of yours going from working so well in a team and now reaching top 100 in the nation so often, it's been very impressive, and I think you're a great representation of what Ashland Esports has to offer, which is just this continuous growth and like a place where you're able to grow. And so I just wanted to ask, like you said yourself, you've been here maybe 5 or 6 years now with esports as you're now doing your masters.
Yep.
Being able to win the national championship in 2 collegiate leagues, what has been like the best memory for you in Ashland esports, and what has it meant for you?
Oh, I mean, this year is definitely great. I My opponent in the PCL league, which I would say was probably the more competitive league, was actually my scrim partner.
Oh,
Me and him
okay.
practiced against each other the whole year because I mean he was very good.
Hmm.
And I beat him 3-1 in the final game. But I mean, it was an extremely competitive match, and we both kind of went in knowing like that this was going to be a tough game because I mean we scrim against each other for a reason. We both thought each other were the
Hmm.
best players in the league. Um, so going into that was definitely a fun battle, and thankfully it went out my way. But like it felt good being able to face like that. Me and him got to face each other in the finals. That was a really awesome opportunity. It was also great. Destiny in our ECAC league
Hmm.
was able to make it onto the playoffs, and it was her first season, so that was super awesome. So it's really cool seeing people who can just start now still be able to like get into these playoffs right away, as they've been super competitive for years. So yeah, and I'm excited because we have a few new members joining next season because
Awesome.
they kind of see that it is doable and that it's something that like this is a great game because it's very opening to new players as long as you're willing to put in the time for it. There's a lot to learn though, so yeah.
When you officially became the national champion that first time, which I believe your first was ECAC, correct?
Yep, it was the ECAC league.
Okay.
Yep.
What was just your initial thought, your initial reaction? And then when you won the second time in PCL, was there anything different? Was it more special? Like, how did you feel between both of those?
Yeah. The ECAC one I think was I was super excited for. The ECAC league I had I won the game and I remember they were still streaming the game because it's like it's behind
Yeah.
where you're at. And I joined the call and I was like, woo! Like the Twitch stream's still up. You can still go see it on the Ashland Esports page.
I remember the moment, yeah.
Yeah, but I was super excited because I mean that's been the goal since day one. I always knew I've been pretty decent at the game and apparently I'm pretty good, but I mean now like I finally feel like I accomplished something. I mean now I can set new goals for next season if that's for the next leagues. But I mean I even want to start applying like or trying to get into some of these like the World Championship leagues as
Okay.
like on ladder since I'm in the top 100. I even sent a picture to the coach yesterday. Like when I was just playing a normal game, I was facing the runner up to the World's Championship, like
Wow.
in a
Wow.
normal game. Yeah. So like I think it's in reach like to possibly like even just get in one of these higher tournaments is all I want. But I mean, who knows? It could lead somewhere. So.
Yeah, I mean, the next question was going to be looking forward to what's next for you, but it sounds like you've already got a plan and it spans beyond just setting more high standards for Ashland Esports in the collegiate scene. You're looking beyond that. And how does it feel just knowing that like you're on that path? And how do you want, you mentioned some new people coming to Ashland Esports, playing Hearthstone there. What's your message to anyone looking to go into collegiate esports with Hearthstone? And just kind of what's your parting, I guess, advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, the game is so approachable. I feel like the game now just gives out the big problem with the game before is the paywall. Like you
Mhm.
often had to pay for your decks, but now the game just hands you some of the most viable decks and some of the strongest things. And with somebody to help you out, and thankfully I'm able to help coach these newer players. I can help them build decks and guide them to like the correct plays. And I think it's going to become. I mean, back in the day, I don't know if you remember, this was one of our biggest teams. Like
It was.
Hearthstone was one of our largest teams at Ashland because it's such an approachable game. Other than that paywall, but that's gone now. So I could see the team growing a lot if we keep seeing success in this game. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping next season we'll have even more people on our team make it to playoffs, and hopefully I can bring home another championship for our school. But yeah, I've just been really thrilled for the whole season and everything.
Yeah, we can't blame you. We've been super thrilled to have you. You're one of our first ever national champions here at Ashland. In fact, in this semester alone, it's been 3. Counter Strike 2,
So
and
that's to
then
say,
you followed it
Counter-Strike
up.
beat me to it.
They did.
I'm like,
But
why
then
didn't
you
my,
said, hold
my
on.
championship happen earlier?
Yeah, you might have had to wait longer for the championship, but then you said it's fine. I'll just do it again.
Exactly.
So finally, just again, a huge congratulations to you. It means so much to Ashland University as a campus to see this, to know that there's so much talent here. You're very appreciated. I can tell you personally, the athletics office is over the moon with the success of the program, and you're such a big part of that, and you have been for the last 5-6 years. So thank you for that, and congratulations again. Do you have any parting messages, any like final words you'd like to say, or final thoughts?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just appreciate the support the Eagles have been putting out. I appreciate the posts and things on Facebook and it being broadcasted by our facility and teammates. I mean, my teammates have been wonderful this whole season, helping me out. even though like they're newer to the game, they were willing to come in and help practice some things for me. So that was wonderful. I mean, it's just a great. I think esports is something like people shouldn't be scared to try out. I feel like it's something that a lot of people realize. They don't realize how good they are at something until they go and inquire. I mean, I almost never looked at the esports team at Ashland. The only reason I ever even got close to looking at it is I was at like freshman orientation. They had a booth up, and I walked by and mentioned I played Hearthstone, and then they hunted me down one of the first weeks on campus. So I mean, I don't even think they knew that I was like I just mentioned that I played the game. So I mean, I think people should not be scared to go and inquire and ask PJ or any of the other team members if they can try out or something like that, because yeah, I mean, it's definitely like the most memorable thing of my college career, and it's something that I love. I mean, there's a reason I'm still doing it, because I just enjoy competing, and it's a really good time. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. And to everybody watching, thank you for joining us virtually as well. Isaac's going to be back playing Hearthstone. It will be live streamed whenever possible at twitch.tv/Ashland Esports. Looking to bring home a third, maybe fourth, fifth, who knows? We might lose count sooner or later. National championship for your Eagles. Be on the lookout for, you said you were getting trophies for those, right?
Yeah, I believe the school should be getting 2 trophies to put in the trophy case for it.
Be on the lookout for some. Be on the lookout then for some more posts about esports and some photo shoots with those trophies to show off the new bling. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your night, Isaac.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.